All right. We are live, apparently. So, I showed this guy on the last live TRX4 rails. Got those from Jenny's. Uh, this is a flat skid for the TRX4 transmission with a motor mount. And these are the shock towers from my original TRX4 Sport. Bumper mounts. That's a metal one that I got for Sport at some point, and I'm pretty sure that's his original rear mount. I don't know if those are going to stay though, and the reason I don't know those are going to stay is because I think I decided on a body, and I think this is going to be the body. And the reason this is going to be a body is because this is, as I talked about, this is a parts build, like literally just stuff that I had. On the last live stream, I told the story about the transmission. I got it because Sport had a click, and I thought his transmission, I thought I had broken it somehow. So I went to Jenny's and got this transmission. And then in the process of taking Sport apart, I tore down his transmission, and it was fine. There was nothing wrong with it. So I re-greased it, put it back together, put it back in him, and it's been fine ever since. So what that was, I don't know. I mean, I guess it could have been something else clicking. It could have been, I don't know. It could have been something in the drive shafts or something. I did replace the drive shafts as well, but I kept the old ones because after replacing them, I really dug into the old ones and I couldn't find anything wrong with them. So anyway, he had a weird click. I tried to fix it. Ended up with extra parts. So because I had the extra parts, then I went back to Jenny's and I bought rails and this flat skid, thinking I would try something a little different. Still TRX4 based, but do something a little different. So last time I talked about this piece that I've since made and bolted in. So he's got 4 holes on either side. It's just a block of Delrin. So it's a piece of Delrin that I cut down to size. And I drilled 4 holes, only using 3 of them right now, but we'll see. And I found out that these shock towers back here, there's actually 2 locations where they can mount on the holes that are in the chassis. So we may have to drill some more holes. I don't know yet, but you can mount it kind of back, or you can mount it forward where it is now. So it's in the forwardmost position right now, at least on the factory holes. So I had it mounted in the back because for some reason I thought that looked right. And then I remembered that I had this body. So this is a Mojave 2 from RC 4-wheel drive. And I set it on there, and I haven't cut the holes in the bed yet. So there's going to have to be some holes in the bed for those shock mounting towers, or the shock towers. But I'm thinking, hey Tilda Tomsky, glad you made the live, man. That's awesome. I'm just talking about kind of a parts build that I've been working on. So this is going to be the live stream, the live stream thing that I do for a while till we get something going here. So, but anyway, whenever I grab this thing and set it in place, I've got the mounts. So Shrink RC makes mounts for the TRX4 to the Mojave. So I will, once I get those, we'll figure out exactly where the holes go in the bed, and then we'll cut those out. But I think we're going to line up pretty close. This one might be a little far forward. I'm not sure. And I'm not sure exactly where the body's going to mount anyway. It's going to be somewhere approximately where you just saw it. But anyway, that's what it's going to be. I'm continuing to be dedicated to using up parts that I already have. Now, I had to buy those mounts because I didn't have TRX4 to Mojave 2 mounts just laying around, right? But we're going to try to buy as little as possible and and just build this thing up with the stuff that we have. So I saw Tilted Tomsky. I saw what was the video that I just saw that you did? Well, first of all, your 24 scale. I think it's the latest build that you're showing that's got all the crazy colors and just like the peace signs and all. That thing is so awesome. Just a great build, and it looks like it does awesome too. Looks like it's really fun to drive because you're just slaying lines with that thing. So that's cool to see. Yeah, and I was thinking about that just today. You just did a video on something, and I was like, man, that's really cool. And now I forgot what it was. But so what I'm gonna do tonight is we're gonna take this thing off. I guess we could use power here. Would be a lot faster probably. And I need to keep track of where these came out of because those the same. They are. That's good. So we can't get those backwards. Is that one the same as well? Hot damn it is. Look at that. So I've got a Quick Run Fusion Pro Elite. This guy. I got this guy for the Vanquish build that I'm doing right now. Yeah, parts builds. Parts builds are the best. Well, they are and they aren't. They end up costing you more money because you're like, I got all these parts. I got enough parts to put something together. And then you start putting it together and you're like, wait a minute. That won't work with that. I thought it would or whatever. Just for me, at least, it always seems like parts build going to be cheap. I already got everything. And then you actually start building it and you're like, oh, I don't have that thing that I have to have for this. So then you got to go buy more stuff. And it never ends. But I mean, that's part of the deal, right? It's part of the fun of it is that it never ends. I got this for the Vanquish, which you guys haven't even seen that. It's hard to remember what you've seen and what you haven't seen. So I've got a VS 410 Phoenix kit, portal kit that I got recently. So they were on back order forever. It's a long story, but anyway, I did finally receive it, and I've been doing some videos on putting it together. So we will see. I think I've got like 4 or 5 videos on it already, and I haven't even started building the transmission yet. So I did axles, I did wheels and tires, I did I don't remember something else, but the chassis. So the chassis is all together now. And it's I mean, I'm going slow, I'm taking my time, I'm not trying to rush it or anything like that. So but there's a lot of building in a Vanquish Phoenix portal kit, a lot of building. So I got this originally for that was where this guy was going to live. It's an Elite, Fusion Pro Elite, and I love Fusions. I've got Fusion SEs or Fusion Pros in all of my 10 scale builds. They're awesome. I honestly, I wouldn't. I mean, if it won't fit a Fusion, then I don't even want the truck at this point. I mean, they're just so great. But in the VS 410, I'm going to do this guy, and I just said I want fusions and everything. This is a fusion, kind of. It's the same idea. So this is a Holmes 2-in-1. So I got that guy, kind of bought it on a whim, just to kind of throw it in the inventory and use it for whatever was coming up next. I got this guy specifically for the Vanquish build. And then I started hearing online from quite a few folks that these things aren't great for heavy rigs. Now, this thing's already heavy. Like, it's already heavy. And I'm going to put this freaking monster on it. So it's going to be heavy too. So I don't know. I decided to go with the Holmes for the Vanquish build. I've already got this thing, and I'm not going to buy another motor unless we get to the point where I get this thing in there and we start driving around and it just can't do the job. At that point, I'll consider buying something for it. But that's what I've been hearing. Like 7, 8, 9 pound rigs, these things aren't the best idea for those. They're not. I don't know. They're not strong enough, I guess. I'm not really sure. For a pinion, I don't know how I'm going to set the mesh on this thing. Like, there's no. You got to bolt this thing on, and I mean, it's almost impossible to get to the screws once it's bolted on. So how the hell are you supposed to set pinion mesh? Yee. Okay, you might be able to get to that one. So I'm thinking we don't have a choice. We'll have to kind of set that one. We'll set it on there, swing it down, tighten this one, bolt it on, and then hold it down finger tight, I guess, maybe, and tighten that one. I don't know. I guess we'll find out together. Let's see what kind of hardware would be good. Ooh. That's probably sufficient. What is that guy? Thinking these are they're 12s. So, but we could probably get away. We could probably get away with a 14. Get 2 extra millimeters in there. Let's see what we got. Should have brought the bin down before we started, but let's look at a 14 because that looks long to me now. There's quite a bit of 3D. Now, yeah, let's go with the 12. That's too long. Let's go with 12s. All right. Probably should do a little Loctite just to be safe. Because if I don't do it now, I won't go back and do it. I'll forget. And then it'll come loose and I'll go, why is that damn thing loose? How could this happen? Why would it get loose? And then I'll take it apart because it came loose and I'll go, well, there's no Loctite on these. Why is there no Loctite on these? Because she didn't put any on there. Oh, we got to put a pinion on first, don't we? Oh, yeah. So I was going to say something about the pinion. So on a TRX4 Sport stock 17 tooth, that's actually sports stock pinion, Traxxas pinion. You can go up to a 15. I don't have a 15, but I do have a 16. So we're going to try to gear him down at least a little bit because I think 17 is going to be pretty fast. So I have no idea. I have no idea where that should go. I don't remember how closely that sat. But we're going to see if we can get this motor mounted. Yikes. I'm way off. This is harder than it looks. There we go. It is tightening. Okay. So I have to shove these wires down through. Oh, that's it's miles away. It's miles away. It needs to come out quite a bit. It is miles away. So, what are you working on, Tilted Tomsky, as far as a parts build? Anything cool? Or is it literally just parts you got laying around and you don't even know what it's going to be yet, like me? That's where I am. I don't know what this thing's going to be yet. I mean, it's going to be TRX4 ish, I suppose. It kind of has to be, right? But beyond that, I don't know what it's going to be. Ooh. I mean, it needs to come out still. Assuming I'm holding this thing where it's actually going to go, which I mean, I'm pretty close. This is not ideal. 24 base, Muse, mullet. Oh, mullet. That mullets are cool. I'm kind of excited that the 24 scale guys are doing mullets now. I don't know. I've never built a mullet, but 24 scale might be, if I'm going to build one, that might be it. Because I don't know. I've been doing 10 scale stuff longer than I've been doing 24 scale stuff, but I don't know. The 24 scale stuff is just like it's more forgiving if you buy a piece that you don't really end up liking. You can build another rig for a couple $100 rather than 600 or 700 for a 10. You know what I mean? Like if you screw up on a 10 scale and you have to come up with something to do with it, it gets kind of expensive. But I guess the 24 scale stuff can get expensive now too, like real expensive if you go for the latest and greatest. So Patagonia tires. I don't think I've seen Patagonia 24 scales. Who makes the Patagonia tires? Is it a Proline? Is it a Proline tire? I don't think I've seen those. I need to get some more 24 scale tires in here to test. I've tested a bunch of them, like 25, I think, or something. I don't know how many have gone out yet. I think maybe. Yeah, I can't remember. How many have aired so far, but I got a bunch of tire tests coming. So that is true. That is true. You can definitely carry around a lot more 24s than you can tests. Yeah, that's very true. And the 24 scales are just, RC four-wheel drive. Okay. I'll have to look into that. Are they like 57s or are they 63s or 64s? I'm curious about those now. I'll have to look those up. That actually feels like pretty good mesh. But what a pain. So, like, and it's hard to see. Yeah, I don't like this motor mount at all. This motor mount's a pain. But that is good mesh. It's like almost perfect. So now we're gonna see. No, they really made it hard. Tiny 52s. Oh, because you make, oh, that's cool. So I've done one set of cut and shuts, quote unquote. Mine, I actually narrowed. So I, instead of like, I think typically a cut and shut is where you take uh, you take a tire of a certain diameter and you actually add to the diameter. I didn't do that. I took a set of canyon trails and just made them narrower. So I cut a strip out of the center, which is dumb. I don't know why. I just did it like kind of as an experiment, to see if that would be good. And that was stupid. So I angled those wires down. They should be angled up. So I'm going to have to take that apart. Well, that's what I get for paying attention, right? Yeah, so I've never done cut and shuts. And so you're doing cut and shuts on 24 scale tires. That's why. That's got to take a lot of patience, because everything with 24 scale with me tests my patience because everything's so small. And gluing 10 scale tires, I mean, it was all I could do to actually finish that project, because everything was stuck together. It was something. I think you're just better at this than me when you say it's really not that bad. I think you're just way better at this stuff than I am. Is what it is. I think it is that bad. You're just good at it, and I'm not. But so let's point them upwards as if we're not dummies. Yeah, the cut and shut, like, I mean, there are guys like West Desert Wheeler. I think he's got like a business kind of that he does cut and shuts, and that stuff takes a lot of patience. At least the ones that I did took a lot of my patience. And I mean, I'm sure it's just like everything else. You get better at it as you do it, but still, my hat's off to you if you're doing cut and shuts of any kind, but especially 24 scale. But if you're doing cut and shuts in 24 scale, like good time, like the Hamrocks, the Hamrocks are so good. I can't believe that they don't make a 63, like a class 2 on the Hamrocks. So if you could make class 2 Hamrocks, I bet you could sell them, because they're good. I mean, they're the best 50, was it 57 is class 1? They're the best 57s I've ever tested, like by a long shot. So if you could make class 2 Hamrocks, I mean, as soon as you do it, Endure will come out with them, though. So it might be a waste of time, but those things they were awesome in my testing, just awesome. So I think either if someone were doing cut and shuts for class 2 Hamrocks, or if this is not as close now, if Endura would make Hamrocks that were of that size, I think they could sell the heck out of them. Well, I've done something wrong here. Let's see. Really? That's interesting. So the Hamrocks like start to suffer after a while. That's interesting. I mean, I just tested mine. I didn't run them for any significant amount of time. Now I kept them, and they are going to be on my class 1. The plan is that they're going to be kind of the go-to tire for that truck. I haven't installed them on him yet, but that's my plan is to run those on my class 1 that I call Gizmo. So that's interesting. I'll keep that in mind as I run Gizmo, and if I get the same result, I'll definitely let you know. Yeah. It could definitely be inserts. Okay, so now I'm able to swing that mesh. That's too tight. I can't see if that's, oh, it's there. It's way down at the bottom though. I wouldn't be able to get to it until about there. It could definitely be inserts. Inserts are kind of can be make or break, you know, like totally make or break on a build. So yeah, those Hamrocks did so well. It's crazy to me that they fell off like that. That's kind of a bummer, actually. But I mean, if a guy is just comping them, you know, maybe he could kind of nurse them along and keep them good for longer. Yeah, I was super impressed with the Hamrocks. So it's interesting that they fell off for you. It's unfortunate, you know. Okay, I know I had. Oh, there it is. Now I have not tried trenchers, so that is one that I wanted to get and test. I've never owned a set of trenchers, 10th or 24th. And I like Proline tire. I like some Proline tires. Like I've got some Swampers in 10 scale. I did test one of the Proline tires. Now I'm trying to remember which one it was. I did test one of the Proline tires in the 24 scale. God, it's driving me crazy. Let me grab my sheet so I can remember. I tested the Treps, the 24 scale Treps. So the Proline Trepadors is what I tested. And they did okay. They didn't do great. They did all right, though. The thing that annoyed me about them was, and I don't know if the trenchers are the same way, but you can't buy them just the tires. You have to buy them mounted on these terrible plastic bead locks that I can't imagine anybody wants. They're plastic. 24 scale stuff, at least for me, and it's probably partially because I'm not great at building them yet. I mean, I don't know. Yeah, they are cheap. So I mean, you basically get the wheels for free, but I don't know what you're going to do with the wheels, you know. So that seems to be working. It's going to be nice and forward. It's kind of high. Not super high, but it's forward, man. Like it's way up there. So we'll see how that works. I'm gonna have to come up with some. Well, I've got sliders, body mounts, so that'll be there. We've got this big tray back here that I made if we want to waterproof a box. I don't know. I'm not really all that into class one, but this guy's going to be a class one because he's going to be a hard body. And we're going to have to put 419s in him because I don't think the 475, the big stuff, is going to fit. I may have to trim out these fender wells a little bit just to get 419s to go. So he's definitely going to be a class one guy just because I don't know what else you would do with these parts that I happen to have. So I think he's going to be a class one TRX4 based Mojave long bed, which is dumb too. You should have a bobbed bed and have it be shorter, right? So he's going to be like the he's going to be, I don't even know, man. Sometimes I don't know why I'm doing this. I mean, again, it's like you have parts, right? You have parts, and then you just start digging through the parts and you go, well, I could put that on there and I could put that on there. This is going to be a Frankenstein class one that's not going to be good. It's not going to be good at all. It's too heavy. It's going to be too long. The the breakover is going to be bad because it's a TRX4, so they don't have great breakover. I mean, it's going to be a flat skin, which is required, I guess. The approach and departure is going to be terrible because look at all this bed that hangs out past the rear tire, right? I, I don't know, man. I don't even know why I'm doing this, but hey, I'm doing this because I had some parts, and in order to Frankenstein the parts that I had together, this is where we are. So we got a motor, we got a steering servo, both leftovers from previous builds. I did have to buy the chassis rails because I didn't have a spare set of chassis rails, but all the other stuff that you see was all spare or leftovers. I bought the transmission, and then I bought on eBay, I bought this flat skid and motor mount. So I don't have a lot of money in it. Well, I don't have a lot of new money in it. So I bought all the stuff just a long time ago. So, yeah, it's one of those things. It's one of those things. You just keep building, and I hope it does surprise me. I hope it does surprise me. I really do. I mean, we're gonna give it a go. We're gonna try to get the suspension right. I'll make links. I'll do whatever I got to do to get the links right. I'm gonna try to get the wheels and tires nice and centered. We'll cut the bed out for the shock towers in the rear. I've got some rock blocks. I've got some 419 rock blocks. So, I mean, it'll have good tires on it. That's another thing that I just kind of had. I don't know why I bought 419 rock blocks, but I did at some point, and I found them in the process of going through trying to find stuff for this thing. So, what part of Missouri? I am in southwestern Missouri near Springfield. So, yep, born and raised here. But I grew up closer to St. Louis. So, yep, moved to Columbia, lived there for years, went to Mizzou, and then moved down here, I don't know, 8 or 10 years ago, something like that. So, been here my whole life, but moved around a bit. So, yeah, but I hope it does. I mean, it's going to have a good motor. It's going to have good wheels and tires. It's going to have good shocks. I've got some Chavs I could put on it. I've got some GTS I could put on it. So I've got no shortage of shocks. There's a group on Facebook called Mid-Mo Crawlers, and there aren't any comps in this area that I know of. There's like one hobby shop. I think there's a Hobby Town in Springfield, and they've got like almost nothing. Every time I go in there, they've got, I don't know, like one set of Proline Hyrax. They don't even have a full set. It's just a pair in a bag, and they've got like, I don't know, old Slash bodies, and I don't know, like the crawler section. They've got a lot of buggies. They've got a lot of like Go Fast type stuff, but I don't see a whole bunch of crawler type. Now they've got RTR crawlers, so they've got TRX4 Sports. I think they've got some Vanquish crawlers even. Like I've seen some stances and stuff like that in there. But as far as like parts, they have almost nothing. So you can get an RTR, or I don't know what they expect the guys that already have a crawler or already have a crawler to do. There's really nothing for you there. So I don't know, a little disappointed. They've got a lot of paint. They've got all the paint you could want. So that's, usually if I'm going there, that's why, is to get some Lexan paint or something. So they've got all that stuff, and they've got shock oil and, stuff like that. But no, so that Mid-Mo Crawlers, they post pretty frequently. I've not been to one of them. It's never really worked out with my schedule, but they'll post them like maybe a week or two in advance. And I've seen so Washington, Missouri. I don't know if you know where that is. It's up like the Pacific and Eureka Six Flags area. Um, Supposedly, there's a pretty new place in Washington that's got like an indoor course. Um, okay, so you've comp. Okay, cool. And then I know they do some stuff around Columbia. That Mid Mo Crawlers, I think, is like based in Columbia, kind of. And then I think it's Salem, maybe. I think there's another new place. I'm relatively new, at least I'm not aware. I wasn't aware of it. Okay, so you're from Mobile. Okay, cool. I think there's a place in Salem that they post. Hey, see you, Tilted. Thanks, man. But I think that Bidmo Crawlers posts about comps that are happening at the place in Salem, and the place in Salem looks pretty cool. I mean, the place in Washington looks pretty cool too. They post pictures and stuff whenever they've got a comp coming up, and I really want to get to one of those one of these days because they look pretty cool. You know what I mean? They look like they've really thought out the. Oh, so you've been to the place? Yeah, it looks awesome. Yep. See you. See you, Tom. Thanks, man. Um, but anyway, yeah, I would love to get to one of those comps, and I would love to get to one of those comps and check it out. I went to a comp in Rolla years ago, and I think the place closed now. But it was a neat place. I'm trying to remember the name of it, but yeah, there was a place in Rolla for a couple of years, but it did close. Okay, yeah, so yeah, that was the last time I went to a comp, which was a long time ago before they closed, like 2018 or 19. So it's been a long time since I comped anything, but it's always fun. I mean, you know, I was bottom of the score sheet, but I still had a blast. I mean, awesome. It's just fun to see everybody else's stuff. And I mean, I don't know how many times, when I was going to those comps, I went to a couple of them, but a guy would drive and I'd be like, man, that thing tore it up. You know what I mean? Like that thing did awesome. And they'd be sitting, taking their battery out or whatever. And I just go, can I, tell me what you got going on there? And they would show me these trucks. And I'm like, it just like blows your mind. Cause you're like, I didn't even think that was possible. I didn't even, you know what I mean? Like I never would have thought to put those two components together. And then you just saw it just like shred this course. And you're like, oh, why didn't I think of it? You know what I mean? Like, why did I think of that? Or, I've got almost the same thing, but I've got different axles on it. And you saw how I did. And that guy, it was had to do with the turning radius. Like my turning radius, I got a TRX4, so my turning radius is like this, and he had modified it with some, axles that were, road grader steering, and he was just, you know, going all over the place. And it's like, I didn't even think of that, So, but anyway, yeah, that's the comps are really fun for that aspect, if nothing else, just to learn. You know what I mean? Just to learn what other guys are doing because it's so creative, so um, just like I'm always blown away when I see those guys and when I go to those comps because guys are so creative and what they come up with. They're so like resourceful and just like I decided that I wanted to put these axles on this chassis and everything in the world tried to stop me from doing it, but I figured out how to do it and here's what I did. And you're just like, wow, that took a lot of work and a lot of, measuring and figuring and fabrication and the whole thing. So anyway, um, well, I appreciate it. This has been my best turnout so far. You two guys, awesome. Thank you for showing up. Shout out to Tilted Tomsky for sure. This will post on my channel. So I want to say if you're not following Tilted Tomsky, go follow him. He's got some really cool stuff. He's in Columbia, Missouri. He's doing awesome stuff with 20 SCX 24, the 24 scale stuff. So if you're into that, go check him out. Thanks, Robin G. I don't know how to say that. Bryson. Thanks for jumping in here. And we've been on for 40 minutes now, so I think I'm going to wrap it up. But we did get the motor installed, so we will see. I think this thing will probably go on the shelf and sit until the next live stream, and then I don't know. Maybe those body mounts will show up between now and then, and we can mount the body and cut the hole. I mean, we'll just keep going and see if it turns into something. I hope it does. So anyway, thanks everybody. Really appreciate it. And we'll see you on the next one.